All right, so last week we had a very interesting penny stock, and what had happened was it had a very large volume spike, and it caught my attention right at 6 in the morning. So whenever you see a volume runner, especially in pre-market, it's really important to not impulsively buy it the second you see it running. I would say 3 out of 4 times you're going to buy it right before it's having a dump. Okay, for people who don't know what that is, it's called a pump and dump. It doesn't just happen in the crypto world, it also happens in stocks, especially in penny stocks. So what I wait for is a pullback after my first candlestick. I do anywhere from 5 to 15 minute candlesticks. 1 minute candlesticks really don't give you enough information on the totality of what's happening, in my opinion. I've noticed whenever I switch to 5 and 10 minute candlesticks, my trades got a lot better. So what I noticed, so whenever this first candlestick, it went all the way up to $1.14, and it started at 86 cents. So that is a huge pump right there. Well, what happened is it then dipped and it bounced between 118 and 99 cents. I actually made my entry at $1.07 on this second candlestick. And I'm not going to lie, I set my stop loss at 95 cents. And this is how I do my trades. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but this is something that I've learned from somebody that is got decades of experience. Set your stop loss to what you're willing to lose, and you need to make a commitment to not sell it until it hits what you were willing to lose. So if I go from $1.07, I set my stop loss to 95 cents, that's a 12-cent difference, which means I need to be committed to not selling until this gets to $1.19. So what I did on this trade was once it got to $1.19, I sold half my position and let it ride. I do this with penny stocks because it is so common for them to just start shooting down. This is a very unusual occurrence. This is not the norm. This is a very rare occurrence where it just kept going up and going up and going up. Whenever it hit $1.32 on this really long candlestick and I started seeing some resistance, I exited the position because I did not want to risk what would happen afterwards. And people can worry about FOMO all they want, but I would rather get out of the position and secure profits instead of risking not just losing my profits, but going in the red and losing money on the trade. It's really important to, if you're, 10 to 20%, I was 20% ahead on this trade. If you're 20% ahead and you end up selling at a loss, that is your fault, and you do not want that to happen. So what happened was you start seeing these candle wicks where there's more and more selling resistance. It got all the way up to $1.67, and that was where it peaked, and then it started tanking. Now, one thing I need to caution you guys, and I used to do this, I don't do it anymore because it's burned me. Whenever you start seeing all this resistance on a penny stock, it is really tempting to enter a short position because I would say 2 out of 3 times you're going to be right. It's going to go way down. But I have had a circumstance where I've entered a short position and it skyrocketed up so much that I kept having to readjust my stop loss. I mean, it was literally 0.5 seconds and it jumps up 30 cents. And so you have to re-enter your order over and over and over again. And I have really taken a huge hit doing that. So I really don't recommend it. It's very risky to enter a short position on these penny stocks that experience high volume. And just note, this is for a day-to-day. You don't want to hold on to these positions overnight unless you really know what you're doing. The whole intention is to get in and out on the same day. But I entered at 107 and exited at 119 and my other half at 132, and it went up way more. And what you don't do is after you get out of the position, Don't be eager to go in and enter another position and try to make more money out of it. More often than not, you will lose. So once you have a successful trade, move on to a different stock. Do not fall in love with a stock because it will not fall in love with you.